Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
All right, real talk for a second. If your snack situation hasn't changed in years, maybe it's time for an upgrade. The Chocolate Lab makes legit chocolate that's worth paying attention to. That's it. Back to whatever you were doing.
A very pleasant good day, and welcome to the Martensville Curling Club. It's the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. We have this matchup here between Brad Gushue and Rogan Snow. So happy to have you here with us. I'm Dave Mellon, joined by Sean Joyce. Sean, how are you?
I'm all right. It's been a while doing a broadcast. I haven't done one since early January myself.
It has been a moment for sure.
One of the reasons I think this event was put on is a few of the teams here that are going to be at the Briar and haven't had a chance to play in a while and won't have a chance to play in a while. So I put this invitational event on so that a couple of these teams could get a chance to get some games in at a competitive level. And it works out for some of these teams from Saskatchewan as well. They get an opportunity, and we're seeing one of them here, this Rogan Snow team, very young team. Outstanding opportunity for them to play against some of the best teams the country has to offer.
And it is Brad Gushue with hammer here in the first hand on the red snap.
Nice freeze there. Brenda wants to not only get the quarter freeze here, but he needs to break the existing one just a little bit, so they got a way to get that yellow out later. This might overcurl on him.
And it is Gushue, line one.
Angles are still pretty good for Snow right now. It did that little rub off the red. He wanted to stay on the center line side of that yellow, tap them a little bit. Wasn't able to get to the tap. The angle's okay for Brad, but there's still no separation on that yellow-red shot combination. This is a long ways out. He'd like to get a little piece around that red. Well, there it goes. And just short. Another chance for Brad to try to break up that. It's the freeze of the yellow at about 11 o'clock frozen on the red that's on the button. That's the one that he's worried about. If you could break those up a little bit so that there was a way to get rid of that yellow later on, that's all he needs here. He doesn't need to move it a lot, but he does need to move it.
So here comes Brendan Botcher with a stone. Nichols trying to work it over. Ooh, and that's too heavy.
Yeah, slides right by everything. Another attempt to come across the face of that red that's in the 8 foot. He needs to get well across it because there is still, I mean, the angle is really good for Brad right now, assuming that he can move that first stone. You don't want to stay on the outside, it would just cue it up.
So first to two for Nathan Roy.
This is awful close to making it for them. It did. You see that red? I need to see the longer view here, but if you can see a piece of that red, all three yellows go.
Well, it's a piece.
It's a big enough piece for Mark Nichols. You don't have to throw it with weight yet either. He's looking at playing this quiet, but the angles right now, with breaking up that angle in the freeze, everything in there favors Brad Gushue right now, and he needs to move that yellow pretty soon. Doesn't need to move it big, but he needs to move it because you can see that red around the outside. So Snow still has that to get himself out of jail a little bit. Red onto yellow onto red, and if you move the yellow here, you can take that one away too.
So on the way from Nichols.
Not going to get what they had in mind.
You just kind of hung out a little bit there, Sean.
Yeah. There's not much good on those reds for him now. It would be tempting, I think, to play the red-yellow. So as we look at the house, looking at the perplexed young man, you play the out-turn. Try to get to the nose of that red on the right-hand side. Red onto yellow, kill the shot stone. I get what he's looking at with this. It's real tough to make it. And if you overroll it, again, that angle on the red-yellow in the 4 foot is already good for Brad. He doesn't need to move them again. You ever hit this and stay right there, you just line it right up for him. You hit it on the outside, you might make it for him. This has got to curl a lot. Oh, there
Guard
goes.
trying to work it over now on the straight side. Get past the guard, no problem.
Boy, that moved a ton. Maybe just
Make
a little
contact.
light.
He just kind of jiggle him around a little bit, and it is shot stone.
Yeah,
And
Well,
just one for Brad Gushue at the moment.
kind of ruined the angle he had on that shot at the side, although it's really tough to get that yellow to go now.
So what do you like here if you're Brad?
Well, I like what he's looking at. Like right now, it takes you 2 shots to get both of those yellows out of the 4 foot because they're so well frozen. So he's looking at playing the first of those right now. I mean, the angle's not the same as it was a moment ago. He changed where that yellow is, so it really doesn't work great for Snow. You make this one, you've kind of got, there'll only be 1 yellow left in the 4 foot, and you have a way to get it out from both sides. And you could be looking at a really big end here. Doesn't need to throw this hard. The back one doesn't have to leave the rings. You kind of would like it to leave the 8-foot. This is more a line shot than a weight shot.
So Mark Nichols trying to shake it up a little bit.
This might overcurl. No, I think he's good.
Made good contact, pushes it back into the back 12.
And that's what I mean. That one at the back didn't have to leave, but now he can see a piece of that one at the top of the 8 or 4 foot, so he could slash it into the yellow if he had to. He's got the same shot to kill that one out of the side of the 4 foot. You could be looking at 3 or 4 right now, and Snow doesn't have much of anything to bail himself out here. You freeze to the top one, you're still giving up a shot for 3.
What about just whacking it?
Where? How? You can't
I don't
see
know.
much. The only one that I could see that you could really whack that would help him would be the yellow in the top of the 8 foot. Well, it's buried. You're not getting to it from either turn. Anything he hits is just going to kill that yellow at the side of the 4 foot. Trying to corner freeze the one at the top of the 4 foot, I guess, and hope that you have something off this with your last one. This is basically a setup shot because you're going to be 4th or 5th if you make this, and Brad's going to have that shot on the other side again to sit 3 for sure. And then can you kill 2 of them with whatever you've got off this rock after that? That's what you have to hope.
Rogan Snow from Saskatoon. I know another guy from Saskatoon.
There's lots of them.
Yeah. I only know one that looks like Santa Claus, though.
Fewer of those.
This one does not look heavy, Sean. Can they make the corner freeze? Henbury and Snow. And it is indeed light. Big trouble now for Snow.
Yeah, the only concern that there is for Brad right now is that red yellow that are frozen, and you can see that's kind of what they're talking about. It probably touches the stone in the button. Well, you don't ever want to push it out all the way into the open on the other side, or there's a hit and roll underneath. You can play that on your last one, and it doesn't matter if it pops it into the open. But then if you're doing that, what are you playing here?
I mean, if you don't play the red, yellow, what do you throw?
Well, you could play basically the same freeze that Snow was just playing, I guess. And then that raise in is still for 4.
Yeah. Right, so you put it right in the brim of the hat there. And then maybe you have a shot at 5.
Yeah.
Playing here on sheet 1, the Churchill Brewing Company sheet.
This does not look like he's drawing. This looks like he's hitting the back one for some reason. And yeah, he is. He's hitting the stone in the back 12 foot, trying to roll across.
So first of 2 on the way for the skipper.
So I guess hoping that will be a catcher if they have to play that other shot with weight and the red comes all the way across.
That is next level ninja stuff. So if you're Rogan here, just trying to make that freeze again, give up only
Well,
three.
the freeze still gives up 3 if you can. If you get by the one at the top of the 4-foot second shot, biting the top of the button, you might be able to hold him to 2. Come to the back of the button, it's still probably a shot for, it might be for 4 then.
Final stone of the first end for Rogan Snow. Working hard to try to get up there. You need to get there for a freeze, and this one is gonna come up light again. So it'll be a shot for 5 for Brad Gushue if he wants it, but looks like he's just gonna draw for 3. I guess I don't think it goes.
Well, they must think it's killing the one on the button. It's hard to tell how hard it would hit it. It would hit it, but you don't have to whip it either. The question is, so the raised stone, the one that's sitting on the H in Churchill right now, when you angle it in, and it's tough to tell from this angle, would it be 4th shot or not? It might not. And if that's the case, well then, this is probably a simple shot for 3.
Yeah, nothing wrong with 3. Final stone of the opener.
If you made that shot and absolutely dead stuffed it, it's hard to tell if it would be out counting the yellow at the top of the 8-foot.
Walker and Nichols. Escorting it down. And this one saunters into the house, no problem. It's a big score of 3 for Brad Gushue in the first end. Rogan Snow will have the hammer in the second when we come back. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the Curling Stadium, Martensville International Bonspiel. It was a score of 3 for Brad Gushue in the opening end. Rogan Snow from Saskatoon has the hammer here in end number 2. He's throwing the yellow stones. Happy to have you with us. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Sean Joyce. And Connor Sims is our producer. So 3, obviously a good start. You had to imagine Rogan Snow grew up watching a lot of Brad playing.
Yeah, you would assume so. If he was watching curling, he doesn't look like he's old enough to have seen too many games. I do think they have to be excited for this opportunity, though, too. And you know, not just a Gushue. They'll get a chance, perhaps, to play against, well, depending whether or not they make the playoffs. They're in their own pool. They've got Bradley Moser's one of the better teams here. Ryland Kleider, runner-up in the province, one of the slam teams. But he's a team that plays mostly on tour, so even though he's based out of Saskatchewan, they won't get a chance to see him that often. And there's Kevin Tuma out of Minnesota, so an American team that, you know, another team that they wouldn't get a lot of opportunities to play.
And how many pools and teams do we have, Sean?
2 teams, 2 pools. There's 5 teams in each pool, just 10 teams in this. It was an invitational event.
Mine must be stuck in Canada Post.
Could be.
And the center guard goes up, no problem.
There was, for a young skip, there was the veteran move as he looked over the shoulder and counted to 5, and now he says, peel the guard. So enough angle there. Yeah, enough angle there that they might be able to get all 3 of them here.
And it'll just be the single peel off the top. So, lather, rinse, and repeat. This is Brendan Botcher. Go ahead.
Yeah, first game of the event, so we haven't really had a chance to see the ice yet, obviously. I haven't played in Martensville yet this year, but I know they do have new rocks. They usually have plenty of curl. So there might be room on the intern to chase that shot stone and try to roll towards the corner.
Let's see if Rogan chooses to take that on, or
Well,
if he goes the peel again.
I think you play the peel for now, but he's going to have to keep that in the back of his mind for, at some point in the end, you're going to decide it's too late to peel anymore, and we're going to try this.
Just a single peel again.
Yeah.
And now Nichols.
Probably curled far enough to take away the chase, but
yeah,
you don't have to play the double peel now. You can actually see the tighter guard. He's not even thinking about it, though. More angle to go after getting all 3 of them, but you missed the second one here. You've missed an opportunity. The long guard by itself really doesn't guard much.
So here's Nathan Roy coming with some pace here. Gonna just remove the top one again. Chance for a better one. So here's Mark Nichols. So his hitting prowess, often referred to as Bam Bam, but ask for the guard here. Over curled again there, Sean.
Yeah. It definitely takes away the chase.
Rogan is undeterred in his peel quest.
Yeah, he's just hoping to get away with a blank now.
One and two, and do they get all three? They get them all moving, but the double peel is achieved.
Well, it gives him an outside chance to get two because he's got double corners there right now.
So does Brad draw under that first, or?
I don't think he wants to be under. If he's under, then there's a chance that Snow just follows it down, sits second shot, and then hopes he's got a double for the last one to get his deuce. Because I don't think there's any chance Brad's guarding that stone. So I think you want to sit open, try to force him to play the double right now. If he makes it, he sits open. You've got no worse than a blank. If he doesn't make it, you've still got the force.
Yes, for a skosh less ice. First to two for Brad.
Doesn't look light.
Yeah, both brushers standing straight up. Did leave a double, and you see where he wants to roll to.
Yeah, the double and the spin up is there. You could maybe get in behind those corners.
So a little bit of opportunity here for Rogan Snow.
Looks like if he wants to spin up half, or maybe just the thin side of a half, would be really close. You hit a quarter, you're going into the side of the other one, you stay open. You do have to be a little careful. I mean, it looks like there's room to hit that thick enough where you could actually roll across the top of the second one, not make contact with it at all.
So opportunity here for Snow. Needs to make this double and spin up under cover.
Took a little bit of a soft release. This is going to overcurl on him.
On this all day, it's going to hit. Can they get on top of it? It's not bad if you get on top.
Yeah, that works.
That's not terrible.
Well, Brad will try to hit and roll behind the corner. If he can make that, he's still got the force, but he's going to lose the one at the back of the forefoot. His shooter is the only one that he's going to be able to hang on to here.
Gushue with his last of the second. Just watching this one.
Wants to stick around.
Makes a hit. Will it stick around? Will it stick around on the edge? Will it hang on? Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot for it either, because he could probably see it. I'm sure it's out past the guards, but now you're throwing a hit in territory that nobody's thrown on yet.
Don't see a lot of that, buddy.
No. And this is only the second end of the first game. Like, what's it going to do out here?
This is not a blank I want to try to throw.
No, because, you take broom off the edge of the stone, and if it runs straight on you, it could very easily hit the boards before it gets to that rock. If it curls on you, you crash the guard, it's a steal one.
Which begs the question, do you just let yourself get forced here? Because if you miss,
and then I think that's
terrible.
what they're talking about.
I think you have to, Sean. This is a scary looking shot. Take a look at that long view again.
You're going to end up hitting this rock on the nose quite a bit anyway, just because you got to play it safe. Well, you hit it on the nose, you're getting one anyway.
Final stone on the second end. And he did make it. And the blank is in the books. Score remains 3-0. Snow has a hammer when we come back.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
And welcome back to Martensville. It's a beautiful day here. It was a blank end in end number 3. It's a 3-0 advantage for Brad Gushue. And Rogan Snow retains a hammer. And Shawnee, that was one hell of a tough shot for the blank there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like we were saying just before he threw it, you don't know what it's going to do out there. That might be one where, you get into game number 3 or 4, maybe you've thrown a couple of out there, you've got an idea. You really don't here in this first game. And if that would have tracked, it very easily could have hit the boards before it made contact. That's a steal. So, it was the best result for him. He decided to go after it, made it.
And this score not curling up enough. An early opportunity here for Snow.
Yeah, he'd like to play the freeze, but it's really tough to get there. By the time you're by the yellow guards, you might well over curl it. You could come around the corner guard. You can actually make a play on that stone in the rings. The guard's not touching the center line, so if you happen to tick it going by, it's not the end of the world.
You could make the freeze on the out turn, don't you think?
You could, but he'd like to cue it up to go towards the corner guard if he could.
as you mentioned, this one is curling. It's going to wreck on that center guard.
Which is fine. It was not touching the line, so not in the no-tick zone. It does leave a bit of a mess out front, though.
And that port is inviting and just saying, welcome aboard, sailor. This one curling up quite a bit on Botcher. Walker and Nichols are trying to keep it going. They're going to get past the guard. They're just not going to have enough weight to get to the middle of the 8-foot, top of the 8-foot.
Tempting to make a play on that stone on the button now, I think. And freeze would not be my play.
I would be thinking like back line weight, maybe.
Yeah, move it, try to roll to behind the corner, open up some more scoring area because you don't have a lot to work with right now.
You see Team McEwen there on the adjacent sheet. With the Marsh brothers trying to make sure that they are completely indistinguishable from each other. Oh, that overcurled.
Yeah, I almost thought it rubbed the first rib, but it kept on curling, so it must have just got by. Well, you freeze the pocket here, and Snow's going to have to start hitting.
This one all over the guard from Botcher. Big miss there, but what do they really leave?
Left a port. But it's you have to throw some weight type port.
You got to give it a go.
I think so. Nice thing about it is you make the port, you're going to hit the red, and you're rolling behind corners. Like, this could sit too buried and no real way to get at either one of them.
So here's Caden Snow. On this for the carve. Will not get through the port. It does wreck and leaves a mess.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Just a mess.
I had a couple different words in mind.
Yeah, there's a red yellow onto the red at the top of the 8-foot. So Brad looking at guarding that. Hard for him to do much with this rock. So it's, what's the best shot that Snow's got left, and guard it. Your shot rock right now, Snow's got to hit something.
So first and 2 from Mark Nichols.
Probably overcurled a bit. Now there's still a limit as to what you can get with this red, yellow, red. I mean, you could sit second and third out of it. You'd probably have the chase available on the one at the back of the button then again. So he's going to play the red guard, the one that was just thrown. He's got to be trying to move a couple here, but I'm not sure which two he's trying to move.
So Nathan Roy with the southpaw delivery. Plenty of pace on this one. Bad luck for that other yellow to get behind the tee line. They could have used that later.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world for him. I don't think that's exactly what they had in mind to rattle that many around, but it did open some things up. It does give you see the opportunity here. Brad's looking at the nose hit on the red. It'll certainly take care of that yellow. He might lose one of the reds. Might not. If he hits it,
he's thinking I might go across the house and get them both.
Might. Well, the other thing that would have to be concerned for Snow, it's possible if he hits this just right, he could remove that yellow clean without taking the red behind it and still keep two reds in the rings. This is going to have to roll across, but
on this one, I'll hold it. Ken Walker hold it, push it back, shove it. They make contact with the first one, and when all is said and done, they lie 2, 3.
Maybe 3, but there might be a triple.
Where's our telestrator, Jerry?
Even if he just makes the double, getting rid of that one at the top of the 4-foot, he'll be at worst sitting second and third. But you make the double, you're awfully close to touching the third one too.
Nathan Roy with his second.
Well, you can't overcurl here. You've got to move that stone off the 4-foot where you have the chance. That's not good because he actually moved it behind cover, at least partly.
That was certainly unfortunate. So just looking to loop another one in here.
Well, he's hitting the yellow one and trying to roll in a bit. But so maybe he thinks the yellow's second. Like, it's really close.
So Brad talking it over with his teammates. Mark Nichols and Jeff Walker.
Yeah, I have to think part of the issue here is got to be that, so you can still see that red stone in the 4-foot. You can still see about half of it. You make this hit, stay right there, or even roll over a little bit. He's going to have a double off that. Now, granted, he has to negotiate the port, but it's there, and you could just leave another rock for him to run into here. If you knew you were sitting 2, you might ignore it. But it's probably too close to tell.
So just a big clean right now to Walker. Now Nichols trying to carve it over. Make contact, and they lie 3.
Yeah, I think you have to play the port, and he's not looking at it. He's looking at trying to tap it up. Tap the yellow up. Boy, that's a good way to be facing 5 with your last one.
So you're saying come down, wait through the port, and just kind of...
Yeah, you're going to roll towards...
Roll to your own?
Yeah, you're going to roll towards those 2 reds somewhere.
Great shot if you make it.
Yeah, well, most of this end, I've been saying he needs to get that rock off the button. He hasn't really thrown any weight at it, with the exception of the one double attempt. And, they just went by it. But you've got very little scoring area. He's looking at playing the tap on the yellow right now. Will you make the tap? If you make the tap dead perfect, Brad Gushue plays the straight back double, and you're facing 5 with your last one. And no way to the button.
See the whole team having the conversation here. No time clocks in this game.
Nope. Well, he's settled on the tap. They did talk about trying to cross the yellow enough that you tap it onto the red, which, if you can make that, at least Brad wouldn't be able to remove it. But boy, that's hard to imagine finding a tougher shot to try.
So Rogan Snow with his first here in the third end.
He's got to curl a ton. He's going to get the line. The reason he got
the line. Does it have the weight?
Yeah,
no,
the
it
reason he got the
doesn't.
line is he didn't have the weight.
So it's still 2 for Brad Gushue.
Yeah, and Gushue doesn't even have, he could hit it, sit 5, but he doesn't have to because he's already sitting 2 and there's no double.
Oh. You know what? I'm in favor of sitting 5 anytime I can sit
Well,
5, Sean.
Yeah, no doubt, but there's a little bit of risk, right? You hit this off the nose and jab it onto one of those reds at the back and then roll away, and you leave him a hit in the middle for 2. I mean, it's there, but if you ever jam it...
You just throw a center guard?
You could come around the outside. He's going to play the hit. He's going to play it with quiet weight, but that's the thing. It's not just to throw the broom down and go hit this. You do have to be careful. If he jams it on either one of those reds, it would be second shot. So you could see all of this, but you're flirting with that yellow at the top of the 12 foot. You don't want to touch it either. So they'll throw quiet weight here and let the sweepers work this one on the way down. Try to get very close to the nose.
So Brad Gushue. Mark Nichols picks this one up. Now just a clean. Walker trying to mosey it on over. This is going to jam a little bit. They do lie 2. Pretty well covered.
Well, I mean, the one he just threw is covered. It might have stopped just in time. If that slides a little farther back, you hit the one that's open with, you can see 3/4 of it. It touches for sure.
Yeah, I don't see how you ever kill the other one.
Well, if they're almost touching, like you hit 3/4, it's going to move it. I just don't know if it moves it far enough. It doesn't have to move it very far, though. A foot. It moves it a foot. It's far enough.
So the key there is to play it with enough weight or speed to catch it, kick it out, and still leave your shooter there.
Yeah, but you can see 3/4, which is, more than you need to hit. Depends on the weight you're throwing, I guess. Boy, it's not like the draw's a gimme either.
As they talk this over, we'd like to thank all of you who might be first-time viewers, who might be watching that other relatively minor curling event going on.
Boy, those 2 rocks are really close together. If they're touching, it moves for sure. I can't see any air.
There's a sliver, but not a lot. There's a good look at it. You see just a skosh space between them.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what you're at the top of the stone, but right where the running bands are, I don't know. There's not much, if there's any. And again, it doesn't have to move it very far. You look at that yellow that's sitting third shot at the back of the 8 foot. So it's only, what would you say, 5 inches off the 4 foot. So that rock, like, forget about a foot. It only needs to move about 8 inches. And if they're touching, it will move for sure. Now, the trick here is you're hitting 3/4 and you can't afford to roll out of the 4 foot. So you have to throw the weight so that you can hold the shooter for sure, and then hope it moves that second stone far enough.
Rogan Snow, final stone of the third end, trying to make a deuce. Needs to just clip this and hang on to the shooter. Hold the line, hold the line. Oh, you wrecked the top guard. Wreck on your own in the back. That might save it and make it only one.
I think it did.
It is a steal of one for Brad Gushue. And he'll have a 4-0 lead. We'll be back from Martensville in just a moment. I think, yep, there we go. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
All right, real talk for a second. If your snack situation hasn't changed in years, maybe it's time for an upgrade. The Chocolate Lab makes legit chocolate that's worth paying attention to. That's it. Back to whatever you were doing.
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the fourth end. It was a single stolen point for Brad Gushue. Rogan Snow has the hammer here in end number 4. And Sean, we are picking up some new viewers due to the Olympics, and we're obviously very thrilled to have you joining us. Thank you for tuning in to Curling Stadium. Please give us a like and a subscribe. That would help us out a lot. But they have a question about curling, Sean. So e-casino events ask, why do they sometimes put a spin on the stone and others push it out straight?
Well, the first part of the answer to that question is everybody puts a spin on the stone. Some of them will come through with a little bit more pronounced rotation than others, but you'll see them all put a rotation on this handle. And at this level, a lot of these players, especially with these rocks that curl extra, they'll put on a little bit extra rotation. And the reason the rotation's on there, what you can't tell from watching, and there's no way we could even zoom in close enough to show you, the ice is not dead flat. They actually put a pebble on the ice. It allows things to slide a little bit better because there's some airflow underneath the rocks, and the rotation helps to make the rock curl. Now, there are a variety of theories over why a rock curls, and I'm not going to go into all of them. But that's, so you see this rock with an out we call it an out turn with the right-handers, but it's a counterclockwise rotation, and it will curl from the thrower's right to left. The in turn or the clockwise rotation curls the other direction. So they put the turn on, the rotation on the handle to help the rock curl. There are a number of videos online that will show you. In fact, there's a physicist out of, I want to say South Carolina, I can't remember, but he did a video on it a few years ago, and part of it is if you talk to the scientists about it, the curling rock will actually curl the opposite direction to what science thinks that it should, but that's based on going on a completely flat surface. So there's something to the thought about the pebble. There's also some thought about perhaps scratching the surface, which gets into the some of the stuff that's gone on with the brushing in the last few years. It's been even a little bit controversial. But the short answer to the question is the rotation will help to determine which way the rock is going to curl. And then they'll use the sweeping to try to, basically, if you can keep that rock moving a little faster, it'll delay when it starts to break.
So you're sweeping here, making it hold straighter longer, right?
Yeah, there used to be some thought that you were just, again, holding the rock straighter, but I think with what we found out about rocks and stuff for the last few years, is basically you're just trying to delay the break. The rocks nowadays, especially when they get them nice and aggressive with the technology that exists now with sanding stones, the rock will start to break harder as it slows down. Well, if you can keep that rock from slowing down quite so much, you can delay that break point a little bit.
Right. For me, I always like to describe it. I was a bowler in my day, and the bowling ball skids for the first 20 feet on the lane once you release it, and a curling stone does much of the same thing. So, if you accentuate the skid portion before it grabs, it's just going to go out straighter. You're going to change that break point.
Yeah, and that's essentially what they're looking to do now. Again, there's some evidence to suggest that there's also an effect of scratching, not just from the brushes, but also from the rock's running edge itself. And now we're getting into a lot of theory that I don't think there's consensus on it. So there's no point trying to address that here in a webcast, but there's research going on that all the time still. There's still, I don't think there's a consensus yet on what makes a rock curl. My personal belief is that with all the theories that are out there, it's probably actually the ones that are debating it usually think, well, it's either the scratching or it's the curl, and I think there's probably more reasonable to assume that it's some combination.
So, e-casino events, we hope we answered your questions somewhat there.
Probably giving you more questions, actually, but
That's okay. We've been doing this for a while, and we still don't know.
yeah, the curlers don't have all the answers either. We just know we want those rocks to curl.
But anyway, Mr. Snow has a little bit of stuff cooking here.
A little bit. Got that one to curl just enough. Like, you could probably still get to the nose of that if you had to. And if you get to the nose, the yellows all go.
See a big crowd on hand here in Martensville. Had a picture from the warm room sent to me by James Gordon, the club manager and head ice technician.
Can see just all of it, so they're going to give it a go. It really is hard enough. You can lose all three yellows, even if you hit it on the outside a bit, but then you lose your shooter. That might be what they're talking about now. Still have to get close to the nose. You hit half on it. I don't know if the top one goes. We're going to find out, I think. Oh,
There you go. Bam, bam. 1, 2, 3. Out the side door and in the corner. And they lie for it. Let's see that again, Connor.
Still backing away from that center line right there. And then from the hog line in, it moved a bit. Gets it thick enough to make sure that all 3 yellows go. Still a pocket at the back of the forefoot.
So drawing down to that will be Nathan.
Yeah, you might like to be in front of the tee line, kind of centered in those. You make the freeze into the pocket. Brad follows it down, and you're still in some trouble.
This one is heavy and wide.
Yeah, because it's heavy, it doesn't get to that break. The break is later and doesn't get to the pocket. Brad's still sitting 2 right now. Could ignore that.
He is considering that.
Well, because if you make a play on that one, you're still in the same boat. You still have rocks behind the tee line that they're going to freeze to.
Right, and of course that tee line is that horizontal line that goes through the middle of the rings. And once the stones cross it, they tend not to ever get closer.
It is tough. I've never seen anybody put a rock in the back 8 foot and then make it better. Yeah. Well, the other problem is that once you get it behind the tee line, anybody gets one directly in front of you, you know their shot rock, and it's hard to get it out. This looks short to me.
This does look light. Can Botcher and Walker bring it? They cannot.
Yeah, well, they're trying to chip off now to get a wider guard, which they did.
So now you just got to come around the outside here. You're going to leave Brad a run, but...
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance he's playing the run. He's up 4 right now, and you have to try to score 2 points in the forefoot. Like, this is still looking pretty good for Brad for a force, even if this is made.
Oh, I agree.
There's no shot on the intern side to get to the forefoot. This is your only shot. Well, this is the intern. He's a left-hander.
See, that's why we don't say intern and outturn anymore, Sean.
Yes, we do.
So Nathan playing his intern. We say intern and outturn because intern means you're turning the stone in towards your body, right?
I guess that's why they've said it that way, yeah.
That's what I was told. They could have been lying to me.
He's got great line, but didn't get there.
Yeah, the sad truth is that is short, and it is still 2 stones counting for red.
And I'm not sure how you get in at all right now if you're Rogan Snow with his skips pair. That wide corner guard kind of takes away any path you've got to get to the forefoot on the other side. Snow actually might be playing a run back on his next one. Then you have to decide which run back you want to play. Might depend on how well Brad makes this shot.
So 1st to 2 here for Brad Gushue. This one's way out in the hinterlands. And it caught some fresh pebble. It's skating on him. Smartly sweeping it behind. Not to leave Snow anything to use. He's
looking at drawing, but you make the draw now. You kind of, even if you make it, you've forced yourself to one. You've got no shot for 2. I think you have to move something here.
If you make the draw,
How are you making it
What's-
again?
well, you don't make it again. You play red
That's what I
under the
mean.
yellow again.
If you're going to play the red under the yellow, I think you play it here.
Okay. Well,
And that's the thing. You've got a few options for runs. You could play the center one straight back, try to double those 2 out of the 4-foot, and sit 2 right now.
I hate that.
You could play the red that's off the center line across the face of the one in the top of the 4-foot, and then even if you miss it, you've got a tap up available on your last one. You can't take away both shots. You play the red straight back onto the yellow, but then that's a draw weight tap. So that's kind of an all or nothing. You could play it. It's still kind of all or nothing. You could hit half a rock on the red on the center line and double peel the guards. What does Brad do then? You can't take away both shots because there's a double in the middle for, it would be for 3.
Yeah, that might be the best shot in the sheet, Sean.
What I like about it is it means for sure you've got a shot left with your last one because you can't take both of them away. You make the double peel. I guess you could make it the other way too, but you make the double peel, you've got 2 shots and he can't take both of them away.
He seems to be eyeing up the red under the yellow here.
Yeah, I'm not in love with this one. Just it's an all or nothing shot, and it's not going to give you anything extra with your last one anyway. Like, and he's playing with enough weight with this ice, I would think, that he actually could kill that yellow one.
So Rogan Snow with his first of 2 here in the 4th. Just a clean. Now a little bit of a carve. Tap it. Push it back. And you only push the 1. It's still shot stone for Brad Gushue.
Well,
Of course, you corner hooked it.
pop too, so I don't think you don't even have any runs now.
You have
You have the
down
long-
lane chase on the left side.
Well, you got the corner. You can run that yellow in to the
Well,
back.
yeah, I think you could just chase it too. I think that's what Brad's going to defend.
Yeah, you could. We could take both of them away with this. If he gets the guard underneath that yellow, he'd have to play it as an out turn. Coming off the line, get underneath the yellow. You could take away the port and the run.
If you don't throw that guard, what else would you throw?
The same out turn draw if you could get to the corner, get to the freeze on the yellow, which you probably could, but you're already up 4. You don't really need more points. What you need to do is stop him from scoring a bunch.
And I feel like you had to do something like that just because, ooh.
Oh, he's looking at the run. Well, you could. Red onto red onto yellow. And it drags a bit. It actually might clip the one at the back
It just might.
with the drag.
It just may.
Doesn't have to whip this either, so that red stone at the top of the 8-foot, it's going to spin into the 4. You could sit 2 off this as well, even if it misses the back one. Can't see how you could hurt yourself off this, even if you hit it broomside and roll away. The 2 in the front of the 4-foot are still staggered, so they work like a guard.
Back and forth, off and on. It's pretty close. Push it back onto the red. Takes out the yellow. Moves your own up. You lie two.
Using that weight control again. He had the shot last end, looking for the nose hit, didn't come up. This one grabbed that center line and really moved hard.
So now Rogan Snow is facing two. And in a tough situation. It's going to be just the draw. So a draw weight shot is a draw looking to just stop in the house right where you want it to be. Every competitive skip is supposed to be able to hit that 4-foot circle on demand.
Yeah, I'm just not sure you can hit enough of it to actually be shot rock.
And he's going to give it a shot. Needs to do this to stay in the game, or else it's going to be good night nurse pretty soon. Rogan Snow facing to the final stone of the fourth end. The boys are on it hard.
This is really curling. He's got to get by the front one.
Will they get by the front one? Yes, they will. Will they get enough of the 4-foot to score? Will they drag it there? Will they drag it there? Oh, baby, yes, they will. Snow made it rain for one, and he trails by 3. It's 1 yellow. We'll be back in a moment from Martensville.
Yes. Whoa. Oh, boy.
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the fifth end of action here. Rogan Snow got one on the board against Brad Gushue. He trails by 3. Gushue has the hammer, throwing the Red Rocks here in end number 5. So happy to have you here with us on Curling Stadium. Jay Schmel and Sean Joyce, Connor Sims on our production. And we're happy to have all of you here with us. So, got to figure those opening couple end jitters are maybe a little bit behind Rogan now.
Yeah, you'd hope so. I don't know whether he'd describe them as jitters. I'm sure they were probably pretty excited to get this opportunity, but the good news now is
excited jitters. It's a synonym.
The good news now is you stop the bleeding. The bad news is you're 3 down without playing the 5th end of an 8-end game. So they did opt to throw the double centers. They didn't get the first one onto the center line, and the second one's still pretty long. Not your optimal setup here when you're probably playing for a hard steal.
The steal, of course, is taking a point when you don't have hammer. Jeff Walker bringing this second one in. No reason for Team Gushue to do anything exotic here, just block and tackle.
Yeah, 5 rock free guard zone in play here, as it is in all the events these days. So they can't peel the guards yet. This is the 5th stone, and I'll be very surprised if they don't hit something after this.
So here's Caden Snow. So third shot for now. Brendan Botcher's going to be called on for the double peel here. Long time skip. Now playing second here on Team Gushue. Makes a double peel, but does leave a guard, but extremely high.
Yeah, it's a very long guard by itself, probably not guarding much. Mind you, that yellow stone in the top of the 8-foot with these rocks, that's essentially a guard in itself by itself. And that's how Snow's going to try to use it. Going to try to tuck around that one and get corner frozen on the stone on the button.
It is a new set of curling stones, I believe, this year for Martensville. Or at the very least, new handles, because they certainly had blue handles in the past.
No, they are new stones. I believe they came from K's, but could have been Canada curling stone. Yeah, this is not going to get by.
Those two companies, the only real manufacturers of curling stones in the world.
Yeah, there used to be another one. I'm not going to mention them. I don't know if they're still operating or not.
This draw attempt from Botcher is not heavy. Ends up just halfway in the 12-foot.
Yeah, fortunate that they rubbed off just a little bit so that it's, you could run that red straight back if you had to. If they left that overlapped, it would have been something that Rogan could have tried to just loop around everything.
I think he still might try to give it a go.
You could. The problem is, even if you make it, it's a straight run back on that red.
Well, he doesn't see anything better, so the draw around's the call. Oh, just rubs it.
Yeah, but if he doesn't rub it, I think it's pretty deep.
So Brad's just going to kill this stone.
Yeah, it needs
And
to
it's gonna-
roll in a bit. It doesn't have to be right to the button, but he needs to be far enough undercover that they doesn't leave the hit and roll back. Even half buried here is good, but you could roll right to the button off this.
Nichols makes a hit. Beautiful roll right on into the button. And they lie 1, 2, and 3.
Nose hit can probably get all three of them, but these aren't the shots you're wanting to play when you're trying to steal here.
Well, peel weight called for. And after getting his Pilates in, Nathan is ready to throw. One and just two. Missed that one on the button, Sean.
Yeah, the chances of dead jamming that probably weren't very high, but that's the way the game's been going so far for the Snow team. And all he's really got right now is the tap on the one that they just threw. Could come around it, I guess. So for Brad, the question is, how do you eliminate both of them? And I think he's going to hit it. Probably worth debating a little bit. Where do you want to end up with this? Do you just want to nose hit it, stay right there, let him try to come around the red? You could probably roll a couple of inches to the outside. That would take away a little bit more of the forefoot.
So Mark Nichols. Just a nose hit. I think you got to loop around everything now, Shoney.
Yeah, and I mean, Brad knew that's what you were going to do, but you make that, it's a red stone coming back. It's still, the edge of the button is still well over buried on that red guard too. So even if you can loop this around, there's no guaranteeing you can get shot rock here.
See him taking 6 feet of ice there. Holding the broom all the way on the outside edge of the house. The house being 12 feet in diameter.
I think he would like less ice.
Just as kush.
He, in order to bury this far enough under the guard to be shot rock, he's really going to have to flirt with it on the way by, and then you'll see them sweep from the offside looking to finish it as much as they can. Oh, this is going early.
Pick it up right out of his hand. Looks like he turned it in.
Well, it certainly made a move early.
Will it get by the guard?
Well,
It
it
says,
might,
hi, how you doing?
because
And
it's
it
really
says,
heavy.
good night, good evening, and so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. So definitely too heavy there off the hand of snow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Snow's got a shot to score or a shot to set up a steal, even if Brad doesn't throw here. But if he tucks this one around, he could be sitting 3, and I don't even know how you cut him down. Might have to try the red run.
So the last from Brad here in the 5th. Don't want to bring this too deep. Okay, begs the question, was that too deep?
It's not so much that it's too deep, is that it didn't get the finish they would have looked for. Now, I don't know that you can get shot with this, but you could maybe chisel off that and at least get second.
He's going to try the same draw again.
Yeah, just try to get to the inside of that. If you could touch off it, he might be able to get across enough to get to the button and sit shot rock. Now, there's still going to be a shot there for a pile. If nothing else, it's a run back. But you can get second shot off this for sure, and possibly shot. The tricky part of that is if you've got enough weight to roll in for shot, does it still curl?
Rogan Snow. This one needs to just squeak past the guard. Get past the guard and then carve on over, but it's all over the guard. And leaves Brad Gushue still line 3 with hammer. Obviously, hindsight being 2020, was it ever a good shot to freeze on the corner freeze the shot stone from the other side?
Well, no.
Okay.
Just scoreboard, right? You freeze on it, corner freeze on it from the other side. Brad's still 1 shooting for 2. That means you're down at least 4, maybe 5. Like, that was his shot to try to get shot rock, but honestly, it's not down to that shot. They just really didn't have a good end.
So final stone of the 5th, trying to put a 4th point on the board. They're just escorting this one down. Walker and Nichols like it. They love it. They want some more of it. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Brad Gushue. They take a 8-1 lead. And we'll be back from Martensville in just a moment.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
And welcome back to Martensville. It's a 8-1 lead for Brad Gushue over Rogan Snow. Let's take a look around at the other games right now on the ice, Sean.
Yeah, we'll update to the best that we can. We did notice that the line scores haven't been updating correctly. So over on sheet 4, it is Caden Hebert against Dylan Dirksen. It looks to be Hebert that is up 5-2 there as they play in the 6th. On sheet 3, it's Ryland Clyder against Kevin Tuma. And it looks like the Clyder team throwing the Yellowstone, so they're trailing, but they have last rock as they play in the 6th there. It's a 5-4 score. Line scores are showing on this one on curlingzone.ca. It is Sean Meacham and I just noticed our scoreboard's backwards to what's up on the wall. Sean Meacham playing against Mike McEwen. It is the McEwen team with the 5-3 lead there. Meacham with last rock. That's Sean Meacham team, usually skipped by Steve Laycock. He's not here this week.
And over on our game, it's Brad Gushue a lot, and Rogan Snow not enough. And that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. They were looking to split the house with two corners, but not able to get that one over the hog line. Don't know whether it picked or something either. It was way over to the side. Even had it crossed the center line, it wouldn't have been covering any of the rings. So.
That's a round of the drinks in the lounge later. So we were talking some during the break. Obviously, this game is not going the way that Rogan Snow would have envisioned it. But we mentioned that just play a good end.
Yeah, you will see this from time to time. If this was later on in the event, the Snow team would probably have conceded after that last end. But this is the first game. And in particular with the Snow team, they don't play again today. So you've had a game where nothing's gone your way so far, but you still have 3 games left to play after this one. You didn't exactly get onto the ice here, so there should have been that little discussion here. Okay, well, we've lost this one, but we need to find the draw weight. We need to throw some good shots, get some confidence up for the next game. And that should be the approach here. It's just, we just need to play one good end. And so far, that's not working out for them. But yeah. Typically, that's the reason you play this end. If you're Rogan Snow, is that we need something so that we can feel a little bit better going into the next game. Just nothing has gone their way this game. They haven't been able to find the line. And a couple of times when they did maybe find the line to get by, they were a little heavy on some draws. So
you just tell your opponent. Hey, the Stone's got to come back this way anyway.
Yeah. Brad's a veteran. He totally understands it too. Again, they don't play again today. So this is your only chance today to, you need to play better than this tomorrow. And part of it is they have struggled with line and weight today. So you'd like to have one good solid end.
No, and yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Brad being the veteran that he is, he completely understands.
Yeah, he knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, he knows why Rogan wants to play another end. He's got no problem with it. And as you said, later in the event, you certainly would be conceding.
If you were older, you might be too.
Oh, especially if you're in one of those C event slogs, back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, it's a round robin draw. They already know when they play, so.
There is a lot of merit to that, Bonspiel coordinators. So, here comes Bam Bam.
Make everything go away and roll out a play here.
And Bam Bam! There they go. So, Rogan Snow is looking at a Western sandwich here. 2 slices of bread in wide open spaces. This one has to find the brakes. Will it get a little piece of the side? Oh, it just does hang on.
Oh, that's a good shot. They were trying to stick it way out there on the edge. They did that. I mean, it's not giving you much to work with, but they did find their way out onto that very outside edge of the 12.
No, they put it right where they wanted it. So here comes Nichols trying to get the outside biter. And that flob is removed.
Yeah. Those are always, I mean, it's not so bad. You're down 7 points. You're not getting back in this game anyway. But if you were down, 2 or 3 trying to score here, and you have to watch that stone, you have to stay with it, just get that nice little biter. And by the time the sweepers get back down to the hog line at the other end, it's already gone. Those are frustrating.
We used to have a poster at our club, it said, "Nice shot, take it out." They did execute that shot again there, Sean.
Yeah, just keep sticking it over there, and maybe hoping the sweepers trip over the rock dragger there. Could have gone to the other side. Of course, it's some rinks, and I happen to know that in Martensville, this sheet's not on an outside wall. But some rinks you'll see the ice might be a little bit, let's call it funky, on the outside edge. Get some temperature fluctuations.
So that wall is not exterior.
As I recall, the locker rooms are behind that wall on that side. So.
And Nichols executes a hit and spills the shooter. One more draw at the well for Rogan Snow here. Now you see here, he throws with a tuck delivery. Commonly done in Manitoba and by some other bearded commentators.
Can't fault his delivery. They're going the other way this time.
So, as somebody who throws a tuck, what's the benefit of it as opposed to a flat foot?
You know what? There's going to be a lot of people that will object to the use of the word benefit, but you do get down lower behind the rocks. So, in a lot of cases, you'll hear people talk about it's hard to miss a hit when you're throwing with a tuck because generally your line's going to be pretty solid even with the up weight. But
well, I've seen you miss a hit, Sean, so that's not true.
Well, I may not be quite as low as as I was once. My tuck, well, it's still a tuck. It's not doesn't look the same as it did once upon a time. The general advantage, if you want to call it that, to the balance delivery is that it sits a little bit higher, and you can judge your speed a little bit better as you're coming out. So typically, the higher up you are in the delivery, those guys tend to have very good draw weight. And Brad Gushue, maybe one of the best examples of that ever, doesn't miss very many draws.
And he certainly does have one of the more upright deliveries.
And he'll be the first to tell you, he can't throw as hard as some of the guys out there. It's just never been his strength. He throws it plenty hard enough, but he doesn't throw, for instance, the same way as Mark. Now, Mark doesn't have a tuck either, but he gets a little bit lower in his flat foot as well. Probably the best guy to use as an example for that, if you look at, again, you want to talk about that other tournament, Mark Kennedy, who has a balanced delivery, but he gets down every bit as low as some of the tuckers.
He certainly does. So here's the final stone for this tucker, Rogan Snow, trying to get his single here in at number 6. And it's going to just careen out?
I think so.
Oh, come on, give it to him. Either way, that's handshakes. It is out of the rings. So you can hang that final score as 8-1 in favor of Brad Gushue. And he picks up his first win here at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. We'll be back on the air later this evening at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock in the East. For Connor Sims and Sean Joyce, I'm Dave Schmelt. Thank you so much for watching Curling Stadium. Good day.
Hey, Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!